Let's crack it, mi gente. This your boy D once again, ready to come by and show some love and a little bit of knowledge. Today, I have another banger for you guys. A lot of you guys have been asking me about if I'm gonna speak about the indictments that transpired recently in MS-13 20th Street Click. If I'm gonna talk about the cases from 1916, the indictments that happened in Frisco within the Sureño faction. And today, I got one of those cases that is already done with. People got their time, so I can talk about it. And the reason why I'm also gonna talk about it is because I knew the person personally that passed away in this case. With that being said, man, I'm also gonna show you guys the difference of how we handle things when I was in the streets as to how they handle things when they were in the streets. The difference between the so-called super ranflero, super shot caller Gordo, as what some homie point out last time, that saying Gordo and Smiley were the best shooters on the street I ever had. Well, I'm gonna I'm not even gonna point out the fuckery they did. I'm just gonna give you guys the case factors and let you guys judge it from there to see how their school mind to ours was mine's and his was way different and apart. How we handle things, how I handle things. Once upon a time when I was in positions as to how he handled things once upon a time when he was on a stolen position. So bear that in mind what I just said, stolen position. Okay? With that being said, man, let's not delay it. So let's just make sure you hit that like. If you don't like it, make sure you hit that down thumbs up. But make sure you share with your comadres, compadres, with your tias and tios, with the Christmas, with Santa Claus, Miss Santa, whatever you want to share. But overall, don't forget to hit that comment. Leave a comment over there. Let's get the conversation going. So let's get it, mi gente. Well, as I said, one of those cases, I'm gonna introduce some key players here, so I can start breaking down some of those cases in these channels, and then go to the other channel and break them down as well. So let's get into it. So 2009 was the last reign of our era. In 2009, that's when all the other homies got basically slammed down, got snatched up. Our generation was no longer it. In 2009, that's when we lost the last of the two, which got caught up on the cases of Triste, Killer, Candil, and a couple other people. Okay, so in 2009, that's when they snatched up the rest of the people that didn't get snatched up in 2008 when the indictment came. Diablo, uh, Killer, Triste, Candil, and like two more individuals that were from the hood that were amongst our own from where I was at, from my generation, right? So when they get snatched up, basically the click gets put in a hole. It gets put in a straight hole because we don't have no other factors or jumped in individuals that were there. There were some kids that were kicking it, but they were not actually factors. So we had to reshape 20th Street, rebuild it, and get it up and running like a straight business, basically. So, and here goes to what, and the next topic that I'm going to talk about is as to why you guys probably heard rumors that there were girls in 20th Street, okay? That's another topic. Now, when Gordo comes in play, mind you, Gordo's the nephew of one of the homeboys, Caballo. He had never been around us. Even though he was a homeboy's family member, he had never came around us. The older homies from the 2000s, the 90s, none of that. We had never seen him around him. Okay? Well, two kids get locked up, get busted, and go to the county, and some of them go to juvenile. The homeboy that gets out when he came back from Guatemala is the homeboy Spider. Rest himself in peace. So I find out he's in the house. So I contact him and I'm like, hey, what's up, homeboy? He's like, I'm doing me, I'm doing the life. I'm like, that's good. Um, Check it out. I'm hearing there's a lot of new youngsters out there banging the hood. Do you know any of them? He's like, yeah, it's a bunch of kids full here, but not really. Then the character Smiley, who people deem as one of the main dudes, mind you, Rogelio Belloso was a cat that got busted when he was in juvenile, was with me. He was a straight paisa, like non-game banger. Pants all the way to his then hole, right to his belly, like a straight paisa. Spoke no English at all, right? So when he got to the juvenile hall system, there was a charge that he was fighting that was funny. So when we approaching and we get his charges, I instantly get on and I'm like, bro, this needs to change. What the fuck is this? If you don't fix it, you don't get all the paperwork within the next 30 days, homie, you're gonna have it rough here. So mind you, in juveniles, a lot of people wasn't pushing the issue, but for me, it was different because I didn't like funny charges and I wasn't gonna sit here and share my meals with somebody because there were homies. We sat in one table. We had two tables. There were homies and some paisas. We weren't hardcore game banging pushing the issue, but we had a little table where you go to juvenile, you friends with somebody, you want to kick it with them, and you only get to come out to talk to them only when you eating chow and recreation. So, well, the thing is, he finally fixed his case. He's about to go home. So he's asking me about the hood, how about the hood this, how the hood that. And then once he fixed his case, I'm moving into my cell because they were trying to compact us. And I didn't want somebody else necessarily, another race or somebody else. So I told him since he was Salvadoran, come on. And I knew his mom. So I was like, come on. So we figure a way for him to stay in the States. So people vouch for him stays in here in the United States. They don't deport him. Then he started going to the hood. So there was another individual named Little Silent that was making a name that I heard was doing good. So we start forming a crew, right? Now I'm on my way to prison. Now this fool Gordo's over there acting like he's Don Gotti. So we hear about this fool. So we instantly get on the phone with him like, bro, who the fuck I gave you any type of chance or authority for you to act like you the shit? So he goes, nah, look, check it out. I took it upon myself to try to bring the hood back since the hood has been gone. You guys, like, we got it look good. So we left it at that. Well, when we decided that we wanted a representative for the hood, after he tell us that when we decide we wanted a representative for the neighborhood, we start trying to put names together that we had heard of either through homies from 16 and homies from 19 or through different sources. Mind you, at that time there were like maybe 30 to 40 young kids, young bucks. And we kept seeing people going in and out juvenile halls, in and out of the county for some stupid ass crimes like snatching cell phones, snatching purses, and nothing like that. Then names start coming up. We start hearing about Delito, and then we had one fool that he had called himself Little Psycho. It was Psycho, Big Psycho's nephew. But we changed his name because his uncle had never authorized for him to use his name. So we ended up changing his name to what we thought was fair. So we called him Chino, Little Chino. So we are communicating with him because he was in the county with us. So we were like, look, when you go home, this is what you needed to do. Mind you, I was still my mentality as a game member. He gets home, we haven't heard nothing for him. He just give us the numbers of the homies that he's with out there, kicking them with him, and go from there. After that, I hit prison yard. I don't know nothing about this fools. Then I go to the shoe. I still don't hear nothing. Then through our female, I get in contact with some of these dudes, right? And when I get in contact with him, little Silas telling me that this fool's doing this, that this fool's doing that this fool's are running here, this fool's are doing that. So I ask him, who's out there, bro? Like, is there any older homeboys out there? So he mentions a couple homies that I know specifically. Little Diablo, little Devil from Parkview's out there. Coco, the homie fucking dog from San Coco's out there. And then there's Coruncha out there. And John, the homie Green Eyes is out there, right? But mind you, Green Eyes is a homeboy that we haven't seen for a decade. And then he mentioned another name which blows my mind. He goes, hey, fool, fucking, what's his name is here? And I'm like, who? He's like, Super Sapo. I'm like, wait, who? Big Sapo, Super Sapo. He like, nah, he said his name is Super Sapo. His name is John something. I'm like, bro, that fool's no good. That fool's a rat. He's done. He goes, what do you mean? Like, yeah, that fool testified against the homie when there was an issue with him and the homie for 19 that testified against each other. That fool's no good. That fool can come to the hood. He's like, well, he's out here doing this, doing that. So I'm like, who's out there, bro? So he tell me, oh, Gordo say he's running the clique. I'm like, that fool don't got nothing to be running the clique. He haven't talked to nobody. What the fuck is that fool doing? So I get in contact with the Fed faction and I ask the homies, like, hey, what's up, fool? Like, we here in the States. Have you got a warrior or what's going on? He's like, nah, that's all you. Go ahead. I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with this at all, homie. Because I had talked to a few kids, a few of those young homies, and they were reckless on the phone. I mean, these fools were out. These fools were reckless as fuck on the phone. So I'm like, nah, Cuddy. I do not want to get involved with none of that. Unless these fools learn how to talk, unless these fools know how to dialogue, I don't want to do nothing. So what I start doing is I start communicating with the homeboy Spider. Then he started telling me this fools didn't do. But Spider had a good heart. Every time he would tell me how they will fuck up, I will have them fools touch. But the thing was, the Spider didn't like hitting disciplined homies. He had a good heart. Every time he'd be like, fool, remember when they used to these to get on us about this and they will give us a pass? We gotta do the same. I'm like, yeah, bro, we gotta give him a pass, but sometimes we gotta smack him down too. So here is how that situation with Peewee came about. Gordo and Smiley, because nobody told them nothing. I stopped dealing with them at all because of the whole fucking I'm hey honcho, you can tell me shit. Then I go to the shoe. I do something in Folsom and I go to the shoe. A hyena that I haven't talked to in years reached out to me and asked me if I was in the shoe. I said, yeah. The bitch looked me up and she went and told them that I was in a PC yard. I don't know how the fuck that came about, but she told them I was in a PC yard. So now when I call back, I got out the shoe, I call back. Mind you, one of my homeboys in the cell and he got a clap. I call back. One of the homies like, hey, fool, we can talk to you, fool. They saying this and this and this. I'm like, fool, I'm going to send you my paperwork. And so I take 3-4 pictures and I sent to him. Have somebody reading to you if you don't know English. He's like, so I send it to Smiley too. Like, fool, here's my fucking paperwork. Don't fucking ever get at me like that. Still, Gordo tells him, don't talk to him because that fool's always. I never once asked them fools for any money or nothing, but I will always be on their bumper. If they're fucked up, I'll be on their bumper. He didn't like that. Because I was schooling them the right way, and it was going. Everything that I was saying was going against everything he was preaching and teaching them. So it was okay for these fools to check little paisas, beat up on little paisas, pull up on dudes that wasn't gang members, fuck them up, and rob people and doing all type of fuckery shit that we done did on 20th Street. It got to the point where this fool then near went to war with 16 and 19 a couple times. We had to come back and fix it because these fools were like, hey, these fools are tagging these fools do. So it got to the point when we told that fool, hey, fool, you need to step the fuck down, homie, and let us deal with this shit. And we're gonna assign somebody. You don't got no fucking say so in this matter because simple fact that who the fuck your uncle is, that shit don't matter for your uncle being bad anyways. So he doesn't like that. So he just like, okay, then you put whatever you want, and let's see how long that shit lasts. Well, Smiley punk ass, to say the least, he's lame ass. He don't wanna grab the click because he was like, I don't want Gordo to feel like I'm stepping on his toes. La, la, la. So I'm like, what the fuck, fool? Fuck him. You listen to us. We telling you what the fuck you gonna do from point now on. He's like, yeah, but that's not how it works. For you fools are in there. You fools don't know what's going on. So I'm like, what you trying to say, homie? Because we ain't here for the hood. So he start going on about like, but look, this. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck you, fool. So I tell Spider, you and so for now coordinate. Spider's like, that's cool, full trip. I got you. So we had the two homies coordinated, but then Gordo still had his little followers. There was a little homies that he had, and then a lot of homies from El Salvador were coming in. A lot of the homies from El Salvador coming in and going and getting in touch with 20th Street, then 20th Street calling down there to make sure. A lot of these fools were even jumped in. A lot of these fools were just chequeo, just like a simple fact, kicking on the streets type of homeboys, right? But there was a certain few homies that had came from different cliques down in El Salvador. And I guess the way now the El Salvador now rules were, if you were coming from over there claiming their clique and they will call to verify if you were okay, even if you were not jumped in, you were still mandated to send cariño, to send a little bit of feria to the homies. And whenever you wanted to choose a clique, you had to call them and call them for permission. So this is how this whole movement gets known. These fools from the Salvador all of a sudden wanted to start a new clique. And third and 20, over here by Hunter's Point. So this fools starting a clique. It's like 15, 20 of these fucking kids. We hear about it. So we tell these fools, you fools go and see who the fuck these fools are. It came out all them kids were for different, like there was like 2 Guatemalan homies. There was a bunch of Salvadoran little kids. They were coming from a clique down there, but they didn't want to jump into 20 because they didn't like how Gordo had to play. Like he wanted it just to be there drinking every day, robbing every day, doing stupid shit that they saw in El Salvador wasn't like that. So they didn't like that camaraderie he was showing. So they were like, challenge, we're not trying to be a part of something that is not right for us. So they thought that they could start a clique. But what they didn't realize it's been established for the longest of the longest that in order for you to start a clique, it have to be with the OK of 20th Street, and it had to be a branch off of 20th Street. So it cannot be homies from El Salvador come here and they just want to start a fucking clique and it's okay. No, it had to be a branch off from 20th Street. So we get a hold of these fools, we talk to them, and we figure it out. Now, all the older fools that are no good all of a sudden are showing up because there's nobody there that will recognize them. So we tell Gordo fool, hey, Big Sapo's no good. This Jake ass fool doesn't do nothing to them. He let him run around, he's doing his thing, la la la. Let him slide. Then Peewee gets here. Now when Peewee gets here, Peewee's an older homeboy. Peewee got a brother, the homeboy Chino from 20th Street. Peewee's an older homeboy from the clique. So when Peewee gets here and he see what the hell's going on, so he instantly pull up to this fool like, hey, fool, you fools can be doing this shit, what the fuck? Then the older homie, Dog for San Coco, which is a homie that's already in his 40s, recognized Peewee from back in the day, so he pulls up to him with little Diablito. So Gordo see that now you have 3 older homies telling him this is not right what you do. You push little homies literally to get locked up, literally to get busted. Literally, you having these fools jump homies in here in the streets, in the middle of the street with a bunch of cameras for no reason, just because the fool wouldn't give you $1. Or you having fools jump and fucked over, stabbed because the fool had a red hat. So people telling this is not how I get down, fool. 20th Street don't get down like that, homie. We not finna do this. You either knock that shit off, or I'm gonna reach out to the homeboys in the penitentiary to give me the okay, and then we're gonna have a problem. So Gordo take us out of threat. Now Peewee got one defect. He likes to drink. So he started getting drunk in the hood. Then he started smoking. I don't know if it was crystal or what else it was. but he started indulging in drugs. So he started going to the county. While in the county, he gets into with some homies from 16 or 19, and he gets DP. Now, and while after he got out the hole, he gets into what I believe it was the blacks, and Gordo removes him from the county because from the pot, sent him to the hole. Basically DP him. He didn't remove it. He DP him, but they got caught. Sent him to the hole. But in the county, once you get DP, you get caught. They put you a stay away from the person. So Peewee sends a letter to his sister. She reached out to me, and he's playing him in that these fools are literally trying to treat him like a straight dolphin. So when he comes home, I reach out to him like, "Fool, what are you doing though?" So he's playing. He breaks it like, "Yeah, I'm fucking up. I'm drinking, doing that." Then he gets into an altercation with a homie for 19 that almost created a whole world war. Gordo see the chance and tells that fool, "Hey, fool, you can't be doing this." But Gordo he was already feeling Peewee was a threat to him. Because Peewee had the means and the backing from older homeboys to pull the clique back and take over. And Gordo didn't want to give up the reins. So I don't know where Gordo got the idea or where somebody posted the idea about Peewee being a rat. Supposedly it came from the inside. I don't know if Warrior, my homeboy Warrior, or somebody else told him Peewee was no good or whatnot. But he got in the idea that Peewee was a rat. So we in a conference call one time, and he brings that issue up. He goes, "Hey, fool, that fool you defending, they say they got paperwork on him." I said, "Peewee? Peewee don't got no fucking paperwork on him, fool. Giovanni, I know Giovanni for a long fucking time, bro. Giovanni ain't no rat, homie." I'm like, "You had a rat within your ranks and you didn't take him out, homie. So what the fuck you talking about bringing me fucking Giovanni? Say you had John there the whole time. Super Sapo's a fucking certified rat, homie. And you didn't do shit. So what the fuck you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, fool, they said they got black and white on him. I'm just waiting for him. They're gonna send it from the feds, la la la." So I reached out to my brother's Lil Payne. I sent him a letter and I'm like, "Bruh, like this nigga's talking about bruh's a rat." We get on the three-way call and he's like, "Nah, fool." I'm like, "Look, this fool, I think he either looking for an excuse to get rid of the homie or there's something there, bro. But this fool sounds really fucking sure." He's saying that somebody in the feds amongst us got some PW on, bro. He's like, "That fool wasn't even part of the indictment. So what the fuck is that fool talking about?" So I start hearing little rumors. It gets to my ear. The Gordo's planning something about Peewee. So I call Smiley and I tell Smiley, if anything happened to the homeboy, you fools are gonna answer for it. I don't wanna hear later on but or if or nothing, homie. If anybody touched the homeboy, you fools gonna have shit to deal with. Well, what transpired later on broke my fucking heart. I cannot even put it in my own words. So this fool caused us a riot in the county, Peewee. Because of that riot, Gordo trying to get NDP on the streets. After he caused the riot, he goes home. While he's in the street, Gordo gets trying to get MDP. And the homie Peewee was like, "Fool, you're not finna touch me, fool. You don't outrank me like that to touch me, fool. You a little young buck, homie. Now, if I got something coming, let the homeboys tell me I got something coming. But you not finna touch me. You not gonna put hands on me. You don't have that type of say to put hands on me." So Gordo, and he tells that in at church. So Gordo now feels like this fool disrespected him. So he start putting two and two in motion. And at that time, Gordo had created a little crew for himself, which consists of Necio, consists of Muerte, Smiley, Delito, and other fools that would do anything for this fucking cat. He had brain fucked the shit out this kids to the point where they would die for this fool tell him. To the point where I have point out, little homies, when we have been at church, there's a lot of cases you guys are catching, they're not doing nothing. Delito was catching cases by beating up his girl. It got to the point when this fool got into a fight, he bit the shit out of his girl, almost took out a piece of the chunk of her head. He beat her up and slapped her and everything. And I'm like, bro, you going to jail for beating up a female, my boy. What the fuck are you doing? Then the other time they had almost got caught because they tried to bust the move, and the police started chasing it. They fucking threw all this shit. And I was mad because it was provided by some close friends of ours. I'm like, you fools are wasting money, bro. Like, you fools are stupid, homie. Then another homeboy had got locked up, went to juvenile for stealing a phone. Then before that, two other fools went to the county. One for jumping on the pipes that had a red jersey, just because when they asked him what he banged, he didn't want to answer, so they beat him up. Then another video was circulated, which was presented at trial of these fools jumping somebody, even female was jumping a dude that they didn't want to lift up his shirt just because this fool tried checking him like not child. So they chasing all the way from 20 all the way to 19, and the video shows it all. So literally all 10 of them fools caught that case, which didn't make no sense for one person. Never have I seen shit like that. When we used to do things, if it was 10 of us and only one person, you only need 2 to handle that. You're not finna send the other 8 homies to prison or to jail if they get caught over something. You're gonna raise 10, 15 soldiers over something like that. That's not how it goes down. That's not how the game is played, homie. You gotta be smarter with your soldiers. So he started putting his plan on action that he's gonna get rid of Peewee. So he brings it to a Smiley that he's gonna take him out because I guess Smiley had become now his number 2. So he's like, hey fool, this fool gotta go. Smiley tell him, hey fool, there's gonna be consequence to this shit if we don't get this shit right. Gordo lies to these people and tells them that he got the PW already. So they call Peewee. Peewee already know he had a discipline coming. So they call Peewee, told the fool, hey fool, Carle, fool, we're gonna deal with that. Peewee being an older head, he knows when something is up. Even though he was drunk, he knew something was up. When he pulls up, it's Gordo, Muerte, and Necio in the car. And in the car that was following, had a couple of the homies there. So Gordo's driving, Necio's in the front, in the passenger seat, and Muerte's in the back seat. So they tell him to jump in the back seat. As they get in over there, once they get to Bernal Heights, they tell him they're gonna talk to him. Necio gets out of the car and goes in behind with what's his name. Once he opens the back door, he starts hitting him. He starts stabbing him. Taka, 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 taka. Muerte reacts and starts stabbing him too. They drag him out of the car. They hit him with a couple of times with a machete, trying to chop some of his arms and everything. So they stab the shit out of him. And what do? They took him to Bernal Heights. Bernal Heights, all that little area was known for having northerners around the area. So they figure we take him there, we do him there, we live in there, and we blame it on the northerners. Nobody's the smartest. Wrong, homie. Because that game and that same move have been done many times. Prior to you guys didn't invent that move, G. Believe that. You guys did not invent that move, homie. They have been done many times prior to you fools coming to the clique. So once they pull him out the car, they leave him for dead. They kill him. They jump back in the car and they get rid of their weapons. And then the next day, they act like they haven't heard from him. They start asking people, hey, where's P? Fool, we looking for P. We looking for P. We looking for P. Nobody has seen him. Somebody walking in the Bernal Heights, I think the person was walking the dog because she was doing her runs. She runs into the body, find it, call 911. Now they find it, they identify who it is. And they within themselves, they start telling each other that we're gonna say he was a rat, that we have PW, that we sold, la la la. Then we burn him because we didn't want to catch with it. So they had came with a whole master plan on their mind. We kill this fool and we tell them it was PW. To the homies, we're gonna tell them it was the Northerners so we can go take revenge on this fool. Finally, word get back at them that Peewee is dead, that they have found him in the Northern Territory. So Gordo tells the homies, now fool, we're gonna hit this fool's back. They took one of the homeboys, la la la. He pumped them up to the point where he makes them believe they was in order to kill him. Wow, the whole time, Muerte Necio, him and Smiley were planning how they were gonna read it. So once we get word that Peewee's gone, is dead, we try to find out what happened, and somebody slipped and told us that it had been them. So now, here's the situation. We hit him up like, fool, what the fuck you do? He's like, bro, we saw the PW. We had it to burn him because of this and that. It went as far as to say that they had saw him walk into a police station and then came back out. They wish they could send us the pictures, but they couldn't. So, when they get snatched out for that case, and they go to Santa Rita, at that time, the homeboys from the feds had just got pulled back after the incident with the Emeros, and everybody had got pulled back to get a reduced sentence. Gordo was still in San Francisco County Jail when I pulled up there for my appeal. So my appeal goes through, he's there. So I send out for a guy, and I send Chewy guy, and I'm sending 2 guys out there. And I told him, fool, tell that fool to come to the back. I need to speak to them. He refuses my kite. He said that he's gonna get there when he gets there. I said, okay. The other fools refused my calling as well. I said, okay, that's firme. We'll see when I get out of the hole. I went straight to the hole to Ate and San Bruno when they transferred from 850 Bryan to San Bruno because Luf is the classification guy there. And since I was an associate, I was invalidated. I was in the process of almost getting validated. So they had me down so they didn't want me in the mainland because they said I could have influenced too many people. So they sent me to Ate. 2 weeks, about a month or some change later, that shit happens in the feds. They get snatched up and all over and go to the hole where I'm at, ass. And Gordo started like, bro, I was gonna come, but the love. I'm like, fool, settle up with me. I need you hot out, settle up with me. I had a Selly Rhino from 11th Street, but it lost cause. So I'm trying to swap Sallys with him. He's with Smiley. None of them want to sell up with me. None of them accepted the chrono. None of them, when I had it, when the CEO pulled up there, deputy pulled up there that I knew, and I tried to bust a move, he was like, they say no, bro. And the intercom, he literally goes, they say no, that they're not trying to move nowhere. They refused my cell move because Gordo knew what would transpire in that cell. I don't say nothing. I just keep a respectful, cordial, and everything. They get snatched up like a year or so later. They get shoot to Santa Rita. The homeboys are over there. Now, I want to see how he's going to get out of this excuse. So Gordo started telling my brother Slow Pain, Psycho, and them that I was the one that told him this. And I'm like, well, what the fuck did he say? But he didn't know that me and the homeboys talked almost every day on the 3-way calls. I'm like, that piece. So I tell Slow Pain, bro, go ahead, do that for me. That gets handled. I get a call 3-way from him, from Gordo. I get a message sent to me saying that he wants to jump on the 3-way with me. He jumps on the 3-way with me. He goes like, bro, dispensa. I didn't mean to put you in a predicament like that. La la la. Dispensa for already took that to the chin. But the homie say it's going to be 2 more. I just want to see if there's a way we can, you know, because you put older homeboys on me. I reached to Slow Pain and asked who was the one that Yuku Yuku. They're like, fool, we put Soldado, we put Sparks, and we put somebody else. Big dudes. I'm like, one more and then we see where he's at. Not because they didn't have to do that, the homeboys, but I was a homeboy asking for a potter since I couldn't be there. They knew it, so they did me the favor. They could have chose to say no. So they got rid of Peewee on the fake assumption that he was a rat. With no paperwork, no black and white whatsoever, and an assumption because he was a threat to him. But here was the smartest dude that he thought he could get away with it. He got two people caught up on that case just because he felt threatened by somebody. So he got these two people almost 20 years each. And he got a license himself because he had. And this is not prior to one. I'm going to talk about the second case about the shooting in Beauty Bar, where he got those two kids life sentence as well because his ego wouldn't allow him to see things truly. But yeah, last time on the live, there was the some dude, little homie from 16, talking about there were the real hitters that he had never seen. Homie, if you have, I've been in positions when I only am in charge of 10, 20 homies, but hundreds of homies. I've been on yard where I have almost 400 or 500 homies at my disposal, but did I have use them or use them just because I felt or to try to get a leg up? No, that's not how you do things. That's not how we were taught. Homies are not there to abuse them, dispose them, and throw them to the shit. I didn't even like DP and homie when I was in prison. I didn't like it when I was in the streets. So I used to try to give homies a comeback every single time I would hear both sides of the story up there, whatever the fuck up is. And I would tell him, bro, like, look, listen, there's a way to go about things different than you went. Go ahead and do a couple of 100 burpees for me for a week, and then on the first one that needs to be handled, you go ahead and do that for me. But I will give you a chance to at least listen to you, to hear your side. I wasn't like some other fools that were in a position that if one of their homeboys came up and told them, oh, that fool was doing this, that fool, get rid of him. That wasn't me. I wasn't quick to jump the gun because I was not taught that. I wasn't raised that way. I was taught, look, you look at the situation, you find the cons and the pros, and then you make a decision based on everything. You put yourself in his shoes, the other person's shoes, then you come back and sit back and analyze the situation, and see what's the best course of action that you can take. He decided that the best course of action was to get rid of an older homeboy that was well loved, well respected, because he felt threatened since people was pushing his shit. People was telling him, you're doing this wrong, homie. This is not how we get down back there. This is not how we do things. And that's why I say sometimes when I go live, these youngsters nowadays, they don't want to listen. And this is not the first fuck up Gordo had. When the situation about the females came up, he wanted to do a totally fucked up shit. He just didn't get his way. He wanted to abolish those people, those females. He allowed his soldiers to beat up on the women all the time and go to jail for it, and they felt proud of that. What kind of leader will allow that? And then you will literally allow homies to go do dummy missions, Kamasaki missions, just to get busted. But they killed Peewee because they felt he was a threat to his reign. With that said, man, I hope you guys like a little breakdown of this case. A little bit different. I'm going to do the other two more cases. I'm going to start talking about and dropping more videos on this channel as well. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. With that being said, man, thank you for all your support. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for all the views. Keep it going. With that being said, be kind to one another. Tell your loved ones they love them because tomorrow's never promised. Let's get it.